What is up? Sorry for the jump scare. My name is PJ. I run Blues Buzz. Big Blues fan. Big fan of Mizzou. If you've been following this account at all over the past, I guess it's going on for like a decade now. You may have seen my face. I try not to get in front of the camera too much. But yeah, I think a couple years ago I was doing like game recaps. But besides that, this is it's been really like a faceless account, and I'm not saying that's changing at all. But I sometimes I do have thoughts and I have updates on Blues Buzz that like it's just easier to maybe jump on one of these live streams versus tweeting out a bunch of stuff. So long story short, I think this is a rough draft. Like I've put this stuff together very quickly. However, I do want to just kind of run through some stuff. I don't think I'm important enough to have my own show, like a weekly show or anything. So what this is going to be is like if I have Blues Buzz updates, merch updates, event updates, thoughts on the Blues, rants, reactions. If I want to have guests on, this is maybe a good place to do that. These past couple of years, I've been producing a show for Elio, Mr. Ice, called 300 Seconds with Mr. Ice. So I do know that a lot of my recent followers, at least, are from that. And this will be a cool way to kind of bring them into the fold of this account as well. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump into it. I'm going to try to keep these super snappy. Like, I respect your guys' time. I don't super snappy. Blues Buzz updates. I've gotten a lot of people asking me if I'm going to keep on doing the guess the correct first score and final score for free hoodie this season. It does get very expensive. I know there's probably been 100 or so winners so far. If you think about it, that's like $50 a pop on my end, which does add up. But you guys like it, and I feel like it's kind of fun. So while I still financially can, we are going to continue to do those this season. I apologize for not doing them on Saturday versus the Flames or Monday versus the Canucks. I was back at Mizzou and didn't have time to get stuff up. Didn't have service either, really. So Blues Buzz updates. Let's see what else. A lot of people ask me about if I'm going to bring back some merch. Okay, like the hoodies, like the Bush hoodies, or I should say the Mountain hoodies. Or sweaters and stuff like that. I would love to. I'm on the East Coast now, and when I make merch, I really, really like to fly back to St. Louis and use the local printing company that I've been using for the past decade or so. For a lot of reasons, but like mainly because drop shipping, I know it's probably the easier option, but there's no good way for me to check the quality there. And I don't want to send out merch that like I wouldn't wear. That's kind of the whole point of Blues Buzz. Is like when I started doing this, like I was making merch for my buddies to wear, and then it kind of influenced the start of the store. Super quick Blues Buzz history. Not that it's really crazy or anything, but there's a lot of new people that like just see my Discord predictions and stuff. So maybe I'm just gonna throw it in here just for this first time. You fast forward a little bit if you want to get to the home opener talk. Or some Mizzou stuff later on, or some gambling picks I'm going to give at the end of this. But Blues Buzz started in high school. It was a blog. I was at the time writing for KSTK, which is NBC's local affiliate. I was not a good writer. I was getting better, but luckily, like I started this in high school, and so I was writing a lot in high school before I got to Mizzou, right? And so I even had like press credentials. I was going to games, interviewing players. It was a dream come true as a Blues fan, right? Like, but luckily that experience kind of, I'd learned that journalism wasn't the route I wanted to go down. I've always been more of a business minded person. And so I'm grateful that I got that experience before I went to Mizzou, because I didn't go into journalism. I went into marketing and business, which is a hell of a lot easier, obviously, but it is like what I'm into. So around the time I got to Mizzou, I really transitioned Blues Buzz from a blog where I'm actively writing to a social media page. Like I focused on memes, I focused on funny videos, I focused on highlights and merch. Merch was a huge thing that I focused on. And I would say like the 4 years I was at Mizzou, Blues Buzz became like a business. Like it was a blog, and then it became a business with the amount of merch I was selling. Looping this kind of back to the drop shipping stuff. Like the first 3,000 hoodies or orders that I packed, they all had a handwritten note in them, and drop shipping kind of takes away from that as well. Like I don't feel connected to it, right? It's just like I just get a buzz on my email that somebody ordered a hoodie in somewhere in America or in a different country, and like it's just like it's not the same. It doesn't hit the same as like rolling up the sleeves, setting aside 8 hours, taking a day off of work to just pack hoodies all day and bring loads of boxes to the post office in St. Louis. So long story short, I do believe that we will have merch this season. I'm working on a few designs. Obviously, like a lot of people want the old ones to come back. They will, as long as I can get back to St. Louis and pack them the way that I think that they should be packed. And so that's the merch update. We're gonna keep doing all of the predictions, and then the Blues we've got a home opener tonight, right, versus the Hawks. We're 2-0. Some people are saying that we lost 5-0 against the Wild last Thursday. Don't know what they're talking about. That's insane. It's funny, like I tweeted out that like several tweets about the fact that like we're just gonna ignore that happen, right? We're gonna pretend it didn't happen. We're 2-0. This is the home opener versus the Blackhawks tonight. There's no way we would lose to a Central Division rival. We would get blown out by them. And I gotta say, I was shocked and I was saddened by the amount of people who follow me and who just could not pick up on that joke. There's a lot of people that did, but it did hurt to learn that some of the followers, just didn't get it. And that it's tough, but it is the internet. So like, what do I expect? I think tonight will be the best gauge of kind of where we are as a team. It's been fun to watch the Blackhawks do their rebuild kind of while Doug Armstrong's experimenting with his retool. Obviously, like his retool is different than tanking for Bedard and all these other stars. So it is cool to, like, we in real time get to like see the difference in those two routes. And I'm excited to see what happens tonight. The Blackhawks haven't beaten the Blues since 2023. Nice little streak we got going. They do have some gamers on their team now, and they are starting to develop. And I think they're going to be a contender. Maybe not this year, but in the next couple of years. So same with the Blues, though. So super excited for this game. We'll see what happens in their first home game tonight. I'm on the East Coast, so it's why is it a 9:50 puck drop? It's two Central Division teams playing, and it drives me crazy. Different story for a different time. I was at Mizzou this past weekend. I understand that a lot of you guys are not Mizzou fans. All right, I recognize that. It's a Blues account. However, I am kind of mad at myself for not leaning into my fandom of Mizzou more these past however many years it's been. I'm a diehard Mizzou fan. I have been since I was a kid. They're going to be in the mix in football and in basketball for the next few years, at least. Basketball in a couple of years. Watch out. I mean, they've got all these 5-star guys, 5-star guys coming in. But I was back. So to close my statement there, I am sorry if you're like, I don't care about Mizzou. Like, you totally get it. Some of you guys went to Mo State, SEMO, SLU, just out of college, or out of state. Totally get it. I'm just going to gloss over this. I went back to Mizzou. This was the game. This was Drink's game. We had Bama in a spot where we could beat them, right? Like they were a top 10 team. If we played our B game, we could have come out with a win there. We had the best running back in the league. and for some reason he got the ball 12 times. And fact check me on this, but from my memory, like 10 of the 12 times they ran it to the short side of the field. It made no sense to me. We're passing it on 3rd and 2. Stupid penalties. That game, Mizzou should have won. I know Bo didn't play great. It's tough. He's so young, and he is talented. Like we know he's talented. We've seen it, but he seemed very like frantic during that game. Like I felt like he would hike it, and he knew which route he was going to pass to or he was going to run. Those were his 2 options. We saw it at the end of the game when Marquise Johnson was wide open and he didn't get the ball and he threw a fit. He threw his helmet down and was, grasping for the heavens. Not a big fan of that as a team player guy. Like I think that doesn't help anybody, right? Like you're gonna look at it on film and you're gonna hash it out internally. I don't think you need to make a big scene. I understand he looked open. He's so fast. Could have been a touchdown. Could have won the game. I understand you're a competitor and like the emotions get the best of you, but like that rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. Leads us into Mizzou going to Auburn this weekend. First road trip. Huge game. Cannot say this, like it is a massive game. This game kind of dictates our future here, right? Like this season. Are we contenders? Can we get into the playoffs? Win this weekend and we're fine. And again, I can move on from the Alabama game. Lose this game this weekend, I'm not going to be okay. We have everything. Like we've got the team, we've got the coach. We in order to make the playoffs, gotta beat Auburn on the road, gotta beat Vandy on the road, right? I think we can beat Oklahoma. I don't know. That's gonna be a tough game too. Mississippi State, Arkansas. Who else we got? I think that might be it. A&M. That's the other one. I think we can lose to A&M and lose to Alabama by 3, right? And we can be like, all right, we deserve to get into the playoffs with 2 losses. 2 losses to 2 great teams. Drop a 3rd game, our chances gotta dip like crazy. So that's why this game is so important. I'm excited. It's going to lead us into our picks. I am on Mizzou +3, but the line changed to -1.5. And so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to give out the +3 because that would make no sense. I'm going to give out Mizzou money line. It's -125. It's an emotional play for me. If they lose, I'm going to be a mess. So I'm going to put money on them to win. As simple as that. I think they are the better team. It's hard for me to see Drink losing this game. If he does, we're in trouble. It's hard for me to see that. That's why I'm going with that pick. Also, tonight versus the Blackhawks, why not Jordan Kyrou, anytime goal scorer? He's got to be hungry. They're back on home ice. If they can score a goal on home ice, which they proved, it was a struggle versus the Wild in that hypothetical fake game on Thursday. You got to think Kyrou's hungry. He's going to be shooting the puck a bunch. I like Holloway as well, but I'm sticking with my guns. Jordan Kyrou, anytime goal scorer, +125. Mizzou money line versus Auburn, -125. Let's go Blues. MIZ. All love. Peace.